Hey, Crimson here. If you love games with a touch of humor, I recommend checking out Dungeons 3. If you enjoy The Sims or Roller Coaster Tycoon and ever wondered what these games would be like within a fantasy setting where you are the boss of your very own dungeon, then you might get a kick out of this game. The story, characters, and dialogue are incredibly well done. However, if the story isn't your thing, you can set up a custom game and change certain features to suit your tastes. I will warn you that even though this game is fairly easy to pick up and play, that it can be very difficult, so you might want to lower the level of difficulty if you are new to these types of games. Also, if you try to expand your dungeon too fast and too carelessly, you might hit a room filled with monsters, and these things will slaughter you if you're unprepared. The next game is Sea Dogs. This game is ugly, old, the controls are clunky, the game can crash, especially if you alt-tab to switch windows, but the game itself is great. This game lets you sail the Caribbean, form your own crew, and eventually build a fleet. You can join England, France, Spain, the Dutch, or just completely forget about them and set out on your own as a pirate. The market for pirate-themed video games is severely lacking, but if you enjoyed Assassin's Creed Black Flag or Sid Meier's Pirates and have been looking for a similar game, then this one is for you. If this game looks interesting, I heavily recommend picking up City of Abandoned Ships. There are many different iterations of Sea Dogs, but this one is definitely the best of the bunch. Before hopping into the game, there are a few things you should know. First is that in City of Abandoned Ships, you can purchase a map of the Caribbean from the local market. Stores in this game will change their stock frequently, and the map you are looking for might not be in their inventory. I would try looking around at all the different stalls until you find one, if you can. The next important piece of information is that this game is pretty slow, so if you want your character or your ship to move faster, you will want to learn the hotkey for increasing the game's speed because you will be using it frequently. So, unfortunate spacemen, if you have ever wondered what Among Us would be like if it was a first-person shooter, this is it. Even though a lobby can support up to 16 players, I think the sweet spot is around 8 to 12. The main reason that this game doesn't get as much love as it should is probably because of how difficult this game is to learn. They have a lot of nice features that you just won't realize until you put hours of gameplay in. I actually have a video on my channel that goes over many of the basics that the game doesn't tell you about, so if this game looks interesting, you might want to check that out. However, my video is pretty long, so you might want to just hop into the game itself and just experiment. And as a side note, this game is free to play. For X3, one of the most important things to me about this game is that it has a Star Wars mod. If you have ever wondered what a Star Wars themed space simulator would be like, then this delivers. This game is a bit similar to Sea Dogs as it is really difficult to get into, but once you do, you could be sinking hours into it. There is space piracy, smuggling, a story mode, and different factions you can join. There are many different ways that you can enjoy this game. My personal favorite is to get a small fighter and jump into dogfights, but you can also get a big bulky ship and command an army. A lot of this game is about setting up your own businesses and playing the market by buying low and selling high. You can even set up your own trade routes and convoys. After establishing a source of income, you can start upgrading your fleet and take the fight to your enemies, and eventually conquer the known galaxy. So, I am a big fan of Fire Emblem, and Wargrove is one of the few games on PC that replicates a similar style of gameplay. There are multiple different types of commanders, all with their own unique abilities. The game has an extensive story mode, a multiplayer, free DLC, and in this DLC is support for co-op. You can even create your own maps and release them to be played by the community. The only thing missing from this game is a ladder system for its multiplayer. As a word of warning, the story mode is very difficult. If you are new to this genre, I recommend playing on an easier setting because even on the easiest difficulty, it is very possible that you will die once you get further along into the story. Anyways, that's the end for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one.